Time moves differently here. In the heart of the Balkans, in Bulgaria's capital, Sofia, it feels like you've stepped into a living museum. The buildings, the trains, the atmosphere, it's an echo of the Soviet era. But we're not here for the architecture. Today, we are driving 2 hours south towards the Turkish border, to a place that challenges modern European sensibilities. We are going to the bride's market. This is where an ancient tradition meets the 21st century, where families gather not just to celebrate, but to negotiate the most important transaction of their lives, marriage. But to understand this market, we first have to understand the people at its heart. We have to understand the Roma. There are an estimated 8 to 12 million Roma scattered across the globe. They are one of the world's most misunderstood populations. Historically nomads, their ancestors migrated from the Indian subcontinent, specifically regions like Rajasthan. Hundreds of years ago, they moved westward, settling primarily in Eastern Europe in countries like Romania and Bulgaria, though you'll find their communities across the continent and even in the Middle East. But in almost every place they've settled, they've faced a wall of prejudice. They are often referred to by a slur, gypsies, a term rooted in the misconception that they were Egyptian. Their nomadic history and insular traditions have often set them apart from the mainstream societies they live in. In Bulgaria, this separation is a chasm. There is a deep mutual distrust between the Roma and the ethnic Bulgarian population. When Bulgaria began integrating with the rest of Europe, borders opened and many Roma moved westward, seeking a better life. This migration, combined with the visible poverty in some Roma settlements, has, unfortunately, reinforced a very negative stereotype. But like any community of millions, it's impossible to paint them with a single brush. And today, we're going to meet one specific group to see their world from the inside. We've arrived in Stara Zagora, and we are guests of the Kalaidzhi tribe. The Kalaidzhi are a Roma subgroup, and like many tribes, they are fiercely protective of their identity. For them, marriage outside of their specific tribe is unthinkable. It's a rule. In this house, there's a mix of excitement and nerves. A young woman is preparing. She was actually featured in a documentary 4 years ago. She went to the bride market then, hoping to find a match. 4 years later, she's still waiting. Today, she'll try again. She's putting on her finest dress and carefully applying her makeup. This is her moment to be seen. And it's not just the women who dress up. Look at the men. The heavy gold rings, the thick chains. This isn't just adornment, it's a signal. In a community without bank accounts or credit scores, gold is visible, liquid wealth. It tells a girl's family, we can provide. It's the ultimate dating profile, but in real life. And this is where it all happens. This field, this gathering, this is the bride's market. To an outsider, it feels like a festival. Families are laughing, music is playing, young people are mingling. But underneath the surface, this is a serious negotiation. What you're seeing is a centuries-old matchmaking tradition. Boys and girls get to meet in a controlled environment, supervised by their families. But here's where it gets controversial. After a boy and girl agree they like each other, the families sit down to discuss the price. We just saw a couple agree. Now the negotiations begin. How much is she worth? In this community, it can range from 10 to 20,000 euros. It's a practice that shocks the European conscience. Documentaries are made every year asking the same question: how can girls be for sale in Europe? The reality is complex. The families see it as a bride price or a dowry, a compensation for the loss of a daughter's labor, a security deposit for her future. It's deeply ingrained in their tradition. Crucially, the price is tied to a strict, non-negotiable rule. The bride must be a virgin. It's a matter of family honor. If this isn't confirmed, the marriage is off. It places an immense pressure on these young women. But within the bubble of their culture and tradition, it is the ultimate standard of value. So, what do we take away from this? It's easy to judge from the outside, to see it simply as the sale of women. But being here, you see it's more nuanced. It's a community clinging to its identity in a world that often rejects them. They are Bulgarian citizens, yet they live on the margins, isolated by choice and by prejudice. This market isn't just about selling brides. It's about preserving a tribe. It's about ensuring their daughters marry within the faith, within the culture, within the family. It's their way of surviving as a people. Tomorrow, these girls will go home, either promised to a husband or waiting for another year. They live in a space between their ancient traditions and the modern Europe that surrounds them, but never quite embraces them, from the margins of Bulgaria. That's all for this deep dive. The Roma story is complex, and we've only scratched the surface. If you want to see more stories like this, from the unseen corners of the world, make sure to subscribe. And a huge thank you to our partner, Epidemic Sound, for providing the soundtrack to our journey. All the music you hear, from the tense moments to the celebratory scenes, comes from their library. If you're a creator, check the link in the description for a special offer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.